Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. But before we get to the video, listen to this. Apologize for the interruption, but hey, if you enjoy the channel, you enjoy the content, why don't you go take time and head over to my homepage, click on the link store so you can purchase some of the latest Hood Champion Boxing merch. You got hats, shirts, sweatshirts, coffee mugs, stuff for the kids. Got different designs. So again, I'd appreciate it if you took some time to head over to the store. Again, just click on the store tab on my homepage and go out there and find something you like. Got something for everybody. And again, hold your horses. Let's not take it to the stupid. And y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze. Okay, now we're back. First and foremost, Crawford plans on fighting Canelo in a toe-to-toe battle. So where most of the Canelo fans are shouting, "Viva Mexico, cabrones," I think at the end of the night, all the Canelo fans are going to be shouting, "Viva el Negro, cabrones." Understand this. Terence Crawford not putting on the size to run around the ring. Terence Crawford putting on the size to go fire with fire, toe-to-toe, mano y mano, Mexico versus El Negro. Let me tell y'all, man, for those of y'all saying, nah, Crawford shouldn't go toe-to-toe with Canelo, why not? Being on the back foot against Canelo, even though Crawford can do it, that's not smart. Crawford must meet him toe-to-toe. But some people are going to say, nah, man, he shouldn't meet him toe-to-toe. Canelo's bigger, he's stronger, he hits harder. Look, I understand. And if Crawford gets in the pocket, from what we've seen with Canelo, that's where Canelo wants to be. Because it kind of plays into Canelo's power game. You watch Canelo when he's on the inside, I mean, you know, he's countering, he's throwing uppercuts, he's throwing hooks. You know, he's making you miss and making you pay. Y'all think I'm making this up? No. Ask Caleb Plant, Billy Joe Saunders. Shit, you can even ask Kovalev, even though I think Kovalev took a dive. But I'm going to give Canelo the credit. But don't for a second try to categorize Crawford with those guys. There's a different element to Terence Crawford that those individuals didn't have. The only thing they have over Terence Crawford is size. That's it. And Terence Crawford is now bringing the size, but bringing the IQ and bringing a lot of other intangibles that those guys didn't bring into the ring. I heard somebody say, well, Caleb Plant was a slick boxer like Terence Crawford. Matter of fact, Caleb Plant is almost black. Hey, yo, McNicholas, hold your horses and stop taking it to the stupid. Caleb Plant's a one-handed fighter. All he has is his left hand. He's a naturally southpaw person who was converted to fight orthodox. So Caleb Plant will kill you with the jab, will kill you with the hook. But once you take that from him, Caleb Plant is handicapped. He's out there crazy. Basically, like he don't have any arms at all. He just out there, man, unless he can, you know, drop kick you, roundhouse you, kung fu your ass. Other than that, Caleb Plant's a sitting duck. And that's kind of what you saw happen when he faced Canelo and in his last fight. I forgot who he fought in his last fight. But anyway, I mean, you saw what happened. But understand, Crawford's slick. But I just think Canelo's counterpunching is still something we got to be worried about because his counterpunching ability is deadly. I just think Crawford's smart movement and then knowing when to go toe-to-toe, mano y mano, fire to fire, Mexico versus El Negro, I think that's going to make all the difference in the world. You look at Crawford. This is the thing that just drives me crazy. People talking about Crawford's a bum. He hasn't fought anybody, tomato cans. Man, Terence Crawford's a master of range. So he's coming in there fighting fire with fire. Maybe he doesn't do it in the pocket all the time. Maybe he does it with range. Maybe he fights fire with fire by using angles. Maybe he fights fire with fire by saying, you know what, I'm going to time him. Don't act like Crawford can't time Canelo. So we got to be fair here. Because all I'm hearing is Canelo can do this. Canelo can do that. Oh, Canelo. It just sounded to me like when I'm out there and my friend just had a grandson, a granddaughter, and they got him over the little 1.5-year-old. Look, little Johnny, yeah, he can fly the airplane. Little Johnny, he can work on computers. Little fucking Johnny's 1.5 years old. He ain't flying no airplane. But yeah, I can understand, being motivated and passionate and excited. You know what I'm saying? You come in, you can take it to the stupid a bit. But Hood Champion's here to set the hook, set the drag, and reel you in. Canelo ain't going to be out here touching up Crawford like that. Y'all crazy, man. But what I will tell you is, Crawford with that switch hitting, better be careful. Be careful switch hitting when you're going toe-to-toe and fighting fire with fire. But if anyone can do it, it's Terence Crawford. Because when he uses his feet and controls pace, he just seems to frustrate all of his opponents because all of a sudden he's landing clean counters. Why isn't he going to do that against Canelo? Why won't he use his feet? Why won't he find a way, man, with his footwork, man, to land clean counters on Canelo, who's trying? So it's going to be the counterpuncher versus the counterpuncher. And let me tell you who I think is going to get there. First of all, Canelo doesn't have an explosive first step. Okay? He's smart with his punch selection. He's very deceptive. He sets traps. But don't act like he has an explosive first step to where all of a sudden he's just going to pounce like a kangaroo, spring into action like Tigger and shit from Winnie the Pooh. And all of a sudden Crawford getting bing by the Guadalajara and Jalisco native. Nah, that ain't how that works. Crawford is going to be more than prepared for anything that Canelo's bringing to the ring. And you got to understand when it comes to that footwork, Canelo's footwork is slow. He got slow feet. He got Pacquiao feet. Big old cumbersome feet. Sudden Canelo going to try to outspeed Terence Crawford, man. It ain't going to happen. But if you ask me, since we're talking Canelo Crawford, right? And I know that's a sensitive subject for some people because after I do this video, I'm going to do one about Canelo and how Canelo is going to obliterate Crawford. So y'all know I don't have no favorite fighter. I don't give a shit if you get upset. But what I would tell you is I think for Terence Crawford, if he's going to fight toe-to-toe with Canelo, I just think he needs to start orthodox. Start orthodox, throw Canelo off. I really think Canelo and Eddie Reynoso, the drug cartel kingpin, I think they're anticipating Crawford coming in there southpaw. I think they are. And I think if he comes in there orthodox, it throws off their whole game plan. And I don't think Eddie Reynoso can adjust on the fly. As a matter of fact, I think in this fight with Terence Crawford and Canelo fight, Eddie Reynoso going to turn into Teofimo Lopez Sr., like when Teofimo Lopez Jr. fought Cambosos, and he's going to be in this corner shutting at Canelo. Whip his fucking ass, man! And the Terence Crawford fans are going to be shouting, Viva el Negro Cabrones. And I'm be sitting back live, going, on my live, laughing my ass off. So Terence Crawford has got to do that because I honestly, I'm being honest with you, I just don't know if Reynoso can. I think he just depends on Canelo to make the adjustments because Canelo's so brilliant in the ring. So I'm just telling you right now, this is a whole nother video, but Canelo's a one-man show, people. Whether y'all want to believe it or not. He's a one-man show. You don't have anybody helping him. You look at Terence Crawford. He got a squad. You know what I'm saying? What Deontay Wilder had that song, Squad Up, Squad Up. Terence Crawford is about to, Omaha, Nebraska up on Canelo. So y'all just got to be real about it. Don't act like there ain't chaos over there in the Canelo camp with all that bullshit with pets. I mentioned this before in the video, and I ain't going to, expound in this one, but I'll kind of reintroduce that topic. You better believe that there's some trouble in paradise. And I just think the stars are lining up for Omaha, Nebraska's finest to have his Viva El Negro moment. And going to piss a lot of people off because they're going to be like, how did this guy, who we refuse to afford credit for being a 2-time undisputed, all of a sudden become a 3-time undisputed by clipping Guadalajara, Jalisco's finest? Anyway, jabbing and pivoting is all Crawford's going to need to do. Fight fire with fire. But use that jab and pivot. and then put them bing bings on Canelo. Set them traps, but you got to be careful that he don't walk into a trap, because Canelo is very good at setting traps. But the reach difference, I think, is going to really matter. Canelo may try that ball crap and beat up Crawford's arms. That ain't going to work. That just ain't going to work here. Crawford is built for tough. You just ain't going to get in there and punch his arms and think he's going to bring his arms down and he's going to go in the corner and just cower away, and all of a sudden you go there and you put a foot up in his ass and, okay, you get the victory. Crawford ain't going to do that. Crawford, you hit him in the arms. If you throw that shot, you land on the right, he's countering with his left. You show it and hit him in the left arm, he's shooting the right. Whatever you do, he has an answer. I just don't think that's something that strategy and that type of attack can be sustained by Canelo. I don't think so. I think he gets bing by Crawford. Slick, counter punching, very precise, very devastating shots. I just think Canelo starts to get discouraged. Same expression he had when he fought Floyd. Same expression he had when he fought Bivol. It was happening in the ring. You can see he was deflated. But what I will tell you, where Crawford, if he's going to fight toe-to-toe, fire with fire, he better keep a high work rate, and he better start early. He can't afford, man, to not bank rounds, because you just don't know what's going to happen. This is Canelo he's fighting. It's a Turkey Al Sheikh show. I think Crawford's the A side, and what I mean, you guys, I've explained. I think Turkey wants him to win, but initially I thought Turkey wanted him to win. But the more I listen to Turkey talk about his plans for Canelo and fighting this person and that person the next 2-3 years, I'm like, holy shit. He's not talking about Crawford fighting this person and that person the next 2-3 years. He's talking about Canelo. Kind of makes you wonder. But what I will tell you, Crawford better bank them rounds, because if Canelo doesn't come out fast, that means he's going to come out slow and probably try to download data. And if it takes him 3-4 rounds to pick it up, Crawford could have easily banked the first 3-4 rounds. And I know what some people are going to say, well, Amir Khan kind of did that too, and we saw what happened to him. He got destabilized. He got cooked and curried. So that doesn't mean that Canelo going to barbecue Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? But it's a good point. That's why I said he's got to start early with a high work rate. He's got to sustain it, man. But going toe to toe, that is what I'm expecting Crawford to do. Go toe to toe, the same way Canelo's expecting Crawford to come out southpaw. And Crawford gonna shock him by coming out orthodox. I think Crawford's gonna shock him by coming out, stepping to him, going toe to toe, and getting his respect early. Because Canelo's not going to expect that. Crawford come out and hit him with the boom. Canelo ain't gonna. He's not going to know what to do. He's going to say, "What the hell is this? You're not supposed to do this, little guy. What are you doing? You're supposed to be coochie-cooing me, but you're here donkey kicking me. This shit. Whoa! I ride caballos and shit back there on my estate, on my farm, but I'm here getting hit by one that's almost feel like one of them donkey kicks that's happening out there on the farm. You watch. I'm telling you." That could throw off Canelo's whole game. But let's see what happens, because if Crawford going toe-to-toe, he got to get inside, chest to chest. He's going to have to fight. He's going to have to hold his ground. But man, oh man, actually I think he's safe chest to chest. Now, if he goes mid-range, that's where you give Canelo a chance to work. But go chest to chest with him. You know what I mean? Use your angles, use your body positioning, use your shoulders, use everything, and get to work. But we know Canelo sit there and try to pick him up and flip him around. Canelo get frustrated when things aren't going his way because he's spoiled. He's a little bratish. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, he ain't even eating burritos. He's eating burritos. Oh, barat. Anyway, Crawford go to the body. Damn, does Canelo ain't Pacquiao. Pacquiao don't like no body shots. Keith Thurman don't like body shots. But Canelo, Crawford's going to work the body for sure. Canelo is not the fastest fighter, so if you can touch him up to the body and get and get his attention, may slow him up even more. But boy, you go to Canelo's body, boy, that shit is high risk. But if anyone can do it, Terence Crawford can. Because he got to take risks, right? If you're going to go toe-to-toe and fire with fire, mano y mano, got to take risks. I think Terence Crawford is going to take risks because I'm telling you right now, Canelo, matter of fact, the more I think about it, Canelo may really sit back here. You may find by round 6, Canelo's way behind the scorecards because Canelo may get dropped or knocked out because he's gonna be looking for the one-hitter quitter. He's gonna be free swinging. He's gonna be Arturo Gatti-ish in the ring, free swinging, letting them hands go. If one of them bombs land, it's over. It's over for Terence Crawford. But that's why he can't be at mid-range. He's got to be chest to chest or out on the outside, boxing, being smart, but fighting fire with fire, using that footwork, using the angles. But I think that's Canelo's only chance. But the reality is, hey, some say, Crawford's fighting fire with fire, that's cool, but that's going to give Canelo an opportunity to be perfect for 1 second. But that's why I said Crawford has to have a high work rate. He has to be able to sustain it, and you got to use the angles and everything else. But I just think that's going to catch Canelo off guard. And I think you can watch when Crawford was wrestling with Gerald Big Baby Miller. You may say that means nothing. That shit means something. That means if Crawford is chest to chest and they're tussling, that means Canelo's going to lose. Canelo's going to say, holy shit, this guy is strong. And Canelo can find himself getting pushed back. And now they're breaking and Crawford's catching them, when the referee say, fight it out or whatever, punch it out. All of a sudden, Canelo finds himself getting bing-binged. Because he's going to be in the ring thinking more about what the hell did I get myself into? This small guy's not supposed to be doing this. Instead of thinking about it being instinctive and letting his hands go. I just think Crawford is going to give Canelo a lot more to think about than what he's had to think about in the past when they get in the ring. And I think Eddie Reynoso and all of his bullshit with fighters testing positive for PEDs, I think that's giving Canelo a bunch of bullshit to worry about outside the ring and the build-up to this fight that he hasn't had to worry about before. When you look at it, and you're being fair, it's all bad for Guadalajara, Jalisco's finest. It's all bad for Canelo, man. Anyway, high risk, low reward is what some people say, because that means that Canelo can knock him out cold. But I think it's a high risk. Matter of fact, I think it's a medium risk, very high reward. Yeah, because Canelo's dangerous. But I just think Canelo has enough going on outside the ring. Crawford can get him enough going on inside the ring to where Canelo is going to find himself not being able to perform the way he wants to. And everybody can be sitting here in shock, like, holy shit, Crawford clipped him. Anyway, to me, Crawford shouldn't run. He should meet fire with fire, at times box smart. But ultimately, man, touch, move, frustrate, and punish. And toe-to-toe, I think, is the absolute answer in spots. And I think that's going to get his respect, and we're going to see, and I think Canelo's going to realize, this guy can really fight. And I see Canelo getting hurt, getting dropped and all that. Look, anything can happen. It's probably more of a chance of Crawford getting dropped than Canelo. But I can definitely see it. If everything I'm saying Crawford does, I could definitely see it. The shots that hurt you aren't the ones you see coming. It's that shit you don't see. And I can see Canelo getting hit with something he doesn't see. Especially when he's jumping in trying to loop, like I said, the free swinging type shots. He missed that shit and Crawford countered him. Canelo is going to go down, people. He's not going to eat that like a grape and say, oh, that tastes nice. No, he's going to go down. He may go night-night. You see Z's coming off the top of his head like one of them goddamn Saturday morning cartoons. It's going to be over. So the bottom line, for those who are saying, here go hood champion again with all those videos. Nah, man. So my question is, are there advantages to Crawford putting on size and going toe-to-toe with Canelo? Some may say, that's a double-edged sword, man. I'm not disagreeing with you. I think it could be a double-edged sword. But at the same time, we have to agree, and I think we as a community can agree, there are a whole lot of advantages to Crawford going toe-to-toe with Canelo and putting on all that size. See, the thing is, with Crawford putting on the size and going toe-to-toe, it gives him a physical presence. See, this is the thing people did not understand, man. That's because everybody on Ozempic and Manjaro and all this other shit. Everybody want to be skinny. Yeah, Serena Williams, Busta Rhymes, Oprah Winfrey. Everybody out here looking slim and trim, man. Everybody out here looking like a straw weight. So when you see Crawford, everybody's still envisioning Crawford at 147 pounder because at 154, you didn't see him there that long. So people still thinking that Canelo gonna walk in this ring, man, looking like a flyweight, an upside down slingshot, and get in the ring with Canelo. No, he's gonna enter that ring looking like how Deontay Wilder looked when he went in there to fight Tyson Fury in that third fight. Deontay Wilder looked crazy. You know what I'm saying? Body was built up, looked strong. But the difference is Crawford's gonna look that same way, big and strong, but he gonna perform better than how Deontay Wilder did against Tyson Fury. And I think for Canelo, he's gonna see, yo, the physical presence of this guy. Holy shit. And then we're gonna see what happens from there. But I just think if Crawford adds on the lean muscle properly, I think he should be able to absorb punches better and hold his ground without getting bullied. Now, do I think Crawford's going to come in at 168 pounds? I don't know, man. But I definitely think he's going to be over 160. You know what I mean? I don't care how strong he is. I think you want to keep your speed, but he got a smart enough team to make sure that he puts the weight on properly, and then he still maintains his speed, his reflexes, and everything he does instinctively. You know, the brain is still going to be functioning just right. It's just for the body to respond in a timely manner. So I'm pretty sure they're going to make sure that they're putting on the weight properly, and that he can still do everything that he was doing at the lighter weights. If for some reason, you know, he goes out here and pull a Clarissa Shields and starts eating Subway and Jersey Mike's and barbecue and ribs and shit and get on the scale with cellulite all in his ass, well, then obviously, you know, he didn't do it properly. But Crawford's a disciplined guy, got a brilliant team. I just think you're going to see him come in there and be able to hold his ground without getting bullied. And to be quite frank with you, man, in my opinion, a heavier, more solid Crawford, you know, for sure won't get walked down that easily. No, a light in the ass Crawford, like Earl Spence used to say, he may get walked down fairly easily. He coming there at 158 or 157. I don't know how well that's going to work for him. You know, I'll be honest with you, because Canelo's rehydrating to whatever the hell he wants to. Crawford ain't going to weigh in at 164 and rehydrate to 200. That's just not realistic. Canelo, for sure, 168 and rehydrate damn near 190, 200. But, hey, it's like I say, when these fighters are saying that they can knock out heavyweights and they're beating up cruiserweights and they're doing this and doing that and they're, getting out the shower and to take a piss and all this craziness, man, you know what I'm saying? And somebody bit the neighbor's dog and grandma hit the heavy bag. I mean, okay. But then no excuses on fight night. You know what I'm saying? But let's see. Size increase should equate to a power increase to an already very strong guy. And I get it. People say, well, Madrimov landed, consecutive right hands on Crawford. If Canelo hits him with the right hand like that, he's going to do Crawford like he did Austin Trout. You know what? It can happen. I mean, I don't really think so, you know what I'm saying? But if he can sting Canelo early, because more size means more power, he may be able to keep Canelo honest because he's going to force Canelo to give him that respect. RESPECT. Find out what it means to BUD. And shit can get real with the quickness. Anyway, we'll see. Because no matter what, the psychological effect is going to be on either Crawford or Canelo's side. I just think the stars are lining up for Terence Crawford. And all these people, oh, you're a Bud fan. Oh, yo, McNicholas, easy. I'm just having a conversation. But if you ask me, if Crawford meets Canelo in the center of the ring, right, and Crawford doesn't budge, Canelo's in trouble. If Crawford meets Canelo in the center of the ring and the big man Canelo is getting pushed back, his ass is in trouble. And the thing is, He can't go back to his corner and ask for help because Eddie Reynoso can't help him. He can't help him unless he pull out the black buckle like Panama Lewis and shit. What he did with Aaron Pryor and Louis and Alexis Arguello. Give me the bottle, the black buckle, the one I mixed. Give me the buckle, the black buckle. You may see, goddamn it, Eddie Reynoso asking some similar shit. Then give Canelo a little swig. Take that shit to the head. Then he come and beat the shit out of Crawford. But that's the only way it's gonna happen, man, because that's gonna send a message to Canelo. You ain't bullying me, man. Nobody bullying me. And I'm just my opinion. I think that can rattle Canelo, especially if Crawford's hitting him with shots that are super crisp. And Canelo going to the corner, Reynoso pull that Teofimo Lopez Sr., but whipping fucking ass. It's going to be all over. Some Canelo fans going to be jumping in that river butt naked, swimming across with them man-eating crocodiles with no intention on making it across the river. Anyway, let's see what happens. The exchanges. Canelo likes long, calculated pressure. I just don't think Crawford's going to allow it, man. He's going toe-to-toe. If Crawford can control his burst of punches, I think he's going to steal rounds, and especially with those bursts of punches, if there's some eye-catching shots. Ooh, Canelo going to be in trouble, especially if Crawford can pivot out before Canelo can return fire. It's going to be over. But the bottom line is this. I can have fun with these videos, but I'm talking facts and shit. Like, this is really how it could go. But don't for a second think I'm over here taking it to the stupid because, are there some dangers of fighting Canelo? Yeah, hell yeah, man. The guy's a 168 pounder. All right, he's conditioned for 168 pounds. Caleb Smith, Kovalev, Saunders, them guys had size, they had power, man. But you just saw that with Canelo's timing and body shots. But Canelo's not the same fighter. He's not the same fighter, but we know what he was able to do at a time in his career. Canelo was a special guy, man. I just don't think he's that guy anymore. I just don't. That's me. But the reality is, a natural super middleweight against a guy who's not. Crawford started at 135 pounds. You're talking about a 33-pound leap. But hey, man, it's not impossible. But it's definitely going to be a monumental moment, a historic moment, a legacy moment for Crawford if he can get up there and do the business. You know what I'm saying? But boy, I just hope he doesn't lose speed. I hope he doesn't gas out. That's why I said, man, the footwork and reflexes and gaining weight, but he has a brilliant team, so you would think that he's going to be able to carry that up. And if he's slower, Canelo's going to find him, and he's going to land cleanly. I mean, that's just a fact, But I think Crawford, he will ensure, and his team's going to ensure he's taking the smartest path to success, and that path is going to be putting on functional weight. That may mean he goes to 168. That may mean he goes to 160. That may mean he stays at 157. But the bottom line is they're going to ensure that he's at a weight to where he can function. He can perform like he always has, and they don't want him to come in there bulked up like a bodybuilder. But if he looks and if he has the appearance of like a bodybuilder, you better believe that he's still going to be able to function. Like, I just give a lot of credit to Terence Crawford and his team. And I think y'all should too, man. They're going to make sure he maintains that foot speed and that explosiveness and stay mobile because they know he can't afford to slow down against a guy like Canelo. Even though Canelo ain't the same, they still know Canelo is a problem for anybody. And Canelo has all the confidence in the world. He's not trying to lose. He's not going to quit. You got to kill him. But you know what's the uniqueness about this bout? You got to kill Terence Crawford. Crawford ain't going to quit. He's a fighter at heart. So is Canelo. You hit them, they're going to hit you back. You shove them at a weigh-in, they're letting their hands go. You got two, no kidding, man. What's that shit called? A-type personalities. Crawford got bullied as a kid for having dark skin. Canelo got bullied as a kid for having, fair skin, very fair skin. Out there in Mexico, basically Canelo being called, white boy. Crawford being called a little black crispy boy. It's horrible. You know what I'm saying? But you think kids who grew up with that shit, getting bullied and shit, when they look at themselves in the mirror, you think they don't still see and hear some of that shit? This is real talk, man. So ain't no one in the world that gonna come out there on the biggest stage ever and allow someone to come in there and give the satisfaction to any of those people who bullied them when they were younger to make them feel like they were inadequate. So this shit is gonna be a war. Anyway, man, let's see what happens with these toe-to-toe moments, man, tactically, which is what I think Crawford should use. I don't think the entire strategy should be going toe-to-toe and trying to just knock out Canelo, but I definitely think he needs to hold his ground, not budge, push Canelo back, get his respect, and win them early rounds. And I think if Terence Crawford can do that, I think he'll win. But he has to have a smart size, a functional size on, and I think people need to understand Terence Crawford going toe-to-toe with Canelo, that shit is not suicide. Risky, but not suicidal. It's just a part, I think, for Terence Crawford and his team to have a bigger, smarter game plan than what Eddie Reynoso and Crawford and Canelo can anticipate. Anyway, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents. In the breeze. Apologize for the interruption, but hey, if you enjoy the channel, you enjoy the content, why don't you go take time and head over to my homepage, click on the link store so you can purchase some of the latest Hood Champion boxing merch. You got hats, shirts, sweatshirts, coffee mugs, stuff for the kids. Got different designs. So again, I'd appreciate it if you took some time to head over to the store. Again, just click on the store tab on my homepage and go out there and find something you like. Got something for everybody. And again, hold your horses. Let's not take it to the stupid. And y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.